So, around 2 years ago, I started kind of rewatching the Harry Potter series of films. Because I felt it had really been a while since I'd truly watched Harry Potter films, and since they came out before I really started this YouTube channel, I felt it best to do kind of a viewpoint of my view of the series as a whole. But then life happened, other things happened, and I just kind of left the series behind for a while. But the book series are still on my bookshelf, and I did feel it had been a while since I'd truly gone into the Harry Potter world, so I decided to come back to the franchise for the third film of the series, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban from 2004. Now, one other thing I want to kind of ask about this particular series is it still okay for us to like it? Because obviously in the last few years, J.K. Rowling has done and said a few things that made people less than keen to kind of talk about her and her works. But the viewpoint I'm going to take on this is that it's possibly still okay to like the Harry Potter series, mainly because you don't necessarily have to like the author at the moment due to the things she said and done, but at the same time, she did manage to create a world that we wanted to be a part of, a world that we engrossed ourselves in. And given that I don't think they're likely to shut down stuff like the Wizarding World of Harry Potter anytime soon due to the fact it's a massive source of income, I think it's okay for us to like Harry Potter. We don't have to like the author, but we do still like it. Now, this particular film in the franchise is now over 20 years old. It came out in 2004. Now, I personally remember when this film came out. I don't think I saw it when it came out. I think I was still a little bit too young to actually go to watch it at the cinema. Like, I think we had like the first two films and later this film on VHS tape when it came out on VHS tape in 2004, but I don't think I went to see it at the cinema. I think two other members of my family went to see it because it was coming out, whereas I went with somebody else and saw another film that was coming out at the time. Maybe a pretty good one, you may have heard of it, Shrek 2. Yeah, I remember we went to go and see Shrek 2, they went to go and see Prisoner of Azkaban, so it all kind of worked out. Now, the first two films in the series were, of course, directed by Chris Columbus, that being Philosopher's Stone, or Sorcerer's Stone if you're in the US, and Chamber of Secrets, whereas this particular one, and only this one, were directed by Alfonso Cuarón. And I do think that his kind of viewpoint, his artistic style does work, given the series at this point is going in a slightly darker direction. I do think it kind of works in the film's favour. Like, you can definitely sense the darker tones. I do question how Hogwarts has now changed slightly how it looks, given from the first film. The first film, the castle looks a little different than it does now, whereas, I don't know, I can't really explain that. Now, there was one big casting change that, of course, had to change from this film to the previous ones, because shortly before the release of Chamber of Secrets, Richard Harris, who played Dumbledore throughout the first two series, passed away. And while he did ask at first, he'd say he could deal with this sickness, he asked them not to recast him at first. When he passed away, they kind of had to recast. And apparently they did go through a couple of actors, wondering who could play the lead role of Dumbledore now. They apparently did ask Christopher Lee, but he was busy. And another name they considered was Sir Ian McKellen. Now, apparently, they did ask Ian McKellen to do it, but he turned it down for two reasons. One, he didn't really want to be typecast as the elderly wizard, as he'd already done that with Gandalf in the Lord of the Rings franchise. And two, Ian McKellen knew that Richard Harris wasn't necessarily the biggest fan of him as an actor. So, when Harris passed away, when they offered the role to McKellen said, no, I don't want to step on his toes. So, which I can definitely understand. Like, you don't want to ruin an actor's memory by taking over a role from them, so I can definitely understand that. So, of course, the role ultimately went to now the late Michael Gambon, who played it throughout the rest of the series, and the big problem everyone has with Michael Gambon is, of course, in the next film with, "Do you put your name in the goblet of fire?" But to me, that's not a problem here, and to be honest, Michael Gambon isn't really in the film enough at this stage to really complain about him. It does also introduce other characters who've later become bigger parts of the series, including Sirius Black, played by Gary Oldman, Remus Lupin, played by David Thewlis, Sybil Trelawney, played by Emma Thompson, and Peter Pettigrew, played by Timothy Spall. Now, Do I really have to explain the story at this point? Yeah, probably not. I think we all know what's happened. But the kind of brief overview of it, Harry Potter, played once again by Daniel Radcliffe, returns to school at Hogwarts after an eventful summer where he ends up blowing up his aunt. However, he and his friends now have to be careful because there's seemingly an escaped murderer on the loose, Sirius Black, played by Gary Oldman, and Dementors are swarming around Hogwarts, and so they have to be careful of that. But also have to deal with problems of their own, including when Hagrid ends up being partially put on trial after Malfoy gets attacked by a hippogriff. So, yeah, there's a lot going on in this film. There are some parts of it, while I think this is probably one of the better films in the franchise, I will also admit it's the one that tends to skip over quite a lot of the information. For example, there are parts of the story that I do feel were more heavily focused on the books, including the disagreements between Harry, Ron, and Hermione around the firebolts, and also around Crookshanks and Scabbers throughout the book. I feel like they did a lot better with the kind of Scabbers argument in the book rather than the film. Also, while I don't know if it's kind of explicit, it's stated in the book, I do slightly wonder when Fred and George give Harry the Marauder's map in this particular book, they said that they stole it from Filch's office first year. I'm like, yeah, okay, but how did you work out the I solemnly swear that I'm up to no good? I have looked it up, and apparently they said that they had to do some experiments on it for a while, like, until they came across the right combination of words to open it, but I'll admit, just, that's a very specific set of circumstances for you to work out how to do this. But as I said, there are parts of the book that I feel do explain these issues a lot better. There are some that I know they had to cut for time, like there's the big argument in the middle of the book about the firebolts, that Hermione ends up getting it confiscated in order for McGonagall to check that it's truly good, and of course the big stuff with the Quidditch Cup, which is a great part of the book for me. But I think they worked with what they had here. They had to change some things because, of course, actors' deaths. But I do think that this is a story that turned out one of the better Harry Potter films. So, I'm finally coming back to the series after a long time, and now considering this film is 20 years old, it came out in 2004, it's amazing how well I think it holds up. I mean, yeah, you can definitely tell it's older than some of the other big blockbuster films that come out nowadays, but still it does hold up as a very good film. So, I was away from the Harry Potter series for a while, but I'm coming back to it. As I say, you don't necessarily have to like all aspects of the Harry Potter fandom, but there are, I think, still too many good elements for us to give up on the franchise entirely. So there's my quick little thoughts on my rewatch of The Prisoner of Azkaban. Will I get to Goblet of Fire soon? Well, we'll have to wait and see. And until next time, see ya.